Ladies and gentlemen, we just got our real first look at the Nintendo Switch 2 and the beginning of this generation. It was incredible. The Nintendo Switch 2 Direct is playing back there, but we'll talk about it more in depth, but it's more than I expected. So, yeah, I'm just going to fly through this Direct, tell you my thoughts and opinions. There's no price in pre-ordering yet, but the release date is June 5th, so we'll see how this all goes, right? But yeah, let's talk about it. So they started off the Direct pretty strong, at least in my opinion, with Mario Kart World. We finally have a name, and it looks really good. One of the features that really stood out to me is that you can like grind on rails, and you can also drive on walls. So I was like, man, Tony Hawk mixed with Titanfall 2 mixed with Mario Kart, sign me up. Like new character changes, like costumes, new cars. The worlds look massive. They also have like an open world mode. Then they have this massive tournament mode. I'm definitely missing some stuff right now, but it definitely exceeded my expectations. I will say that. Now here's something that I found really shocking. This is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. And the reason why I find that so crazy is you're cutting out a potential like 100 million customers immediately. So that makes me think that the Switch 2 is gonna be there in like excess. Like the demand is high, but Nintendo must think, well, we're gonna meet those demands and more, because why else would you cut out like 100 million customers? So I find that very shocking, but it sounds awesome. One of the big leaks going around currently is the C button. Like, what does it do? What's it for? And essentially it's for voice chat, but it also makes like your own little party, and you can have 4 people on the bottom, I believe, and you can watch their gameplay. And they introduced a camera as well, which is crazy. And then you can put your face overlaying the gameplay. Really cool. I will say, when you have your other friends' gameplay on your screen, their gameplay looked very laggy, like not great at all. It's really not the biggest deal, but I do hope that looks better as time goes. They also showed us mouse support, and this is cool. It's not a feature that I was like sold on that much. The way they showed it off first though is basically this little tech demo area where you can go and learn Nintendo facts and explore and like look into the Switch 2. I thought this looked interesting, especially when they said you can find secrets. Something that turned me off to it though is I think this should have been included with your Switch just as like a little fun thing to introduce you to your Switch 2. It said this is a paid experience or a paid game. I can't remember the wording they used. I don't think this should be a paid feature at all. That's just me. So a big selling point is the screen, and the screen is bigger and better. More frame rates. I think it starts at base 1080p, has HDR support. The dock has 4K support, so that's done, like that's confirmed. That's very exciting. I think they said the LCD screen has 3 times as much pixels as the original Switch. Oh yeah, something I didn't expect at all is there's now like 3D dynamic sound. And that's not even with a headset. That's just with your Switch playing handheld. That sounds incredible. The Nintendo Switch 2 will have a base of 256 gigabytes of storage. You can use a micro SD card for more storage, but it's not a regular micro SD card. It's called a micro express SD card, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only one you can use on a Nintendo Switch 2. So a regular micro SD card will not work. They did show the game cartridges. They're the exact same size as the Nintendo Switch. They're just red. Very strange. I thought it would have like a different shape or something, but it's the same exact one, just a different color. So we knew it was rumored that Nintendo Switch games would get a Nintendo Switch 2 version. We were wondering, is that going to be a paid upgrade? How's this going to work? They actually showed off 6 games. All of them looked incredible. Truly amazing. I can't remember all of them, but it was like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon Legends EA, and I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land, maybe something else. It looks truly remarkable. Like these games never existed on the Switch. They are paid upgrades. They said if you own the game already, you can just pay the upgrade, which obviously, they did not say how much the upgrades are. I'm thinking like 20 or 30 bucks, which really does suck. But if I'm not mistaken, every single game, not only does it have like a paid upgrade and better graphics and better performance, but it adds like more games and more features and more experience. So that's how they justified making it a paid upgrade, I think. So before we get into all the big game announcements, a big thing for me was Nintendo Switch Online. Yes, GameCube is finally coming to Nintendo Switch Online, But the caveat is it's only a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. Again, I find that kind of strange, but it is what it is. The very first game they showed off for Nintendo Switch Online was Zelda Wind Waker. That's a game they could have easily made us buy, but they're not doing that. Then they showed off Super Mario Sunshine and F-Zero and Pokemon Coliseum, and I'm sure I'm missing some stuff right now. And I think this is just included in the expansion pack, so you don't even have to purchase an extra tier, which is phenomenal. Let's go. So forgive me if I seem a little bewildered here. The very first real game they showed off that we didn't know about was a brand new IP from Nintendo. And the concept is wheelchair basketball. And you use the mouse, or mouse is mice, whatever, to like imitate a wheelchair and play basketball. That's not what I was expecting. Like somebody said in chat when I was streaming, that was not on their bingo card. I'm not knocking it, it's just strange. Then we got onto some third-party announcements, and we went from wheelchair basketball to Elden Ring. Yes, night and day difference, I think. Some of the other game announcements we got is Street Fighter 6, and I think it includes all of the DLC, which is really, really cool. Hades 2 is also coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not sure if this is on other consoles right now. I do know it is on PC though, and people seem to enjoy it. I thought we were getting a new Astral Chain announcement. At least that's what it seemed like to me. I was like, holy crap. This looks incredible. But it was Daemon X Machina something or another, I can't remember. That's actually one of the most underrated Switch games. I am very excited to experience this. So we're getting the Hitman series, or maybe one of the games, I'm not really sure. I've never really played Hitman, so I'm kind of excited to play that. But the reason why I'm out of breath and talking like this, they announced a straight up new 007 game. I cannot freaking wait for this. No release date. I think it just says in development for the Switch 2 or something like that. I knew Yakuza 0 was going to show up. I think it might be the 10th anniversary this year. And yeah, it did show up. We got some new Zelda. I know, crazy. It's not Zelda directly, but we got a new Hyrule Warriors, something Imprisonment, I think. And this leads up to the story of Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not the biggest Warriors style gamer or whatever, where you're like slashing a million enemies, but I do like these Zelda games because it gives you a lot of lore and story. Hyrule Warriors on the Switch was kind of laggy and bad frame rate issues. The Switch 2 is definitely going to fix that, and it's going to be really cool to just get more lore and story for Tears of the Kingdom. They actually mentioned quite a few games in this direct. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I will talk about the ones that made me most excited. Seeing Borderlands 4, it looks incredible, like truly incredible. I love the Borderlands series. They actually run fairly well on the Switch, but the Switch 2 is just going to be so much better. So it's funny, they started talking about Cyberpunk 2077 and the stream crashed completely. And then it came back like after a minute, but it was so delayed. So after the direct, I had to go find the trailer. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. It's called the Ultimate Edition or something like that. And I believe it includes the DLC. I went from never knowing anything about Cyberpunk at all to playing it last year and the DLC, and now it is a top 3 gaming experience, top 3 game of all time. It actually looks pretty good on the Switch 2. Probably not as good as the PS5, but definitely gonna pick this up day one. I think this might be a launch game as well, so I cannot wait, man. Nate the Hate said Final Fantasy VII Remake was gonna get shown off at the Direct, and it did. Or I think he said it was gonna come to the Switch 2 or something like that. It's Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, so I think it includes like some DLC or something. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake a few months ago, loved every second of it. I probably won't pick this up for the Switch 2 because it's so like new and fresh in my mind. But Rebirth is coming out next year. They didn't say that in this direct, but that's been rumored, so I will be checking that out. And the very last thing they showed off from like publishers was something from Software, and we're like, what the hell is this? Like Dark Souls remake, or is it some kind of Bloodborne? Is it Demon Souls? Is it what is it? Like it looked familiar, but it didn't at the same time. And I don't think they said From Software at the beginning, so I was thinking, is this some kind of like 3D Castlevania or some Devil May Cry, or what is it? And it is a brand new From Software game exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is bonkers to me. That is crazy. Then we got our last few Nintendo game announcements. The first one looked like a new Smash, but it was Kirby Air Riders, like a remake of the GameCube game, I think. And it even talked about Sakurai in there. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And it started looking like a Smash trailer, it really did. But the last Nintendo game they showed off, completely out of left field, at least to me, a brand new Donkey Kong game. And it looked amazing, just truly amazing. And it's a 3D Donkey Kong game. Like 3D open world, I think, or maybe not open world, maybe like Super Mario Odyssey. I actually thought it was a new Mario game the way the world looked at first, but yeah, new 3D Donkey Kong game. You can go down into the ground, you can smash through rocks. There truly was so much going on, but it looks so damn good. There's a bunch of other stuff I'm sure I'm missing in this direct, but I just wanted to get you guys my reaction. As always, in the comments below, let me know what you guys are thinking. If you made it to this part of the video, man, hit a like and subscribe. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Join this community. Be a part of it while we enter this next generation of Nintendo consoles. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.